Nityananda. This is Ma Nityan Nirishvarananda, and thank you for tuning in to my next video here on my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be talking about my personal experience during the Inner Awakening program and why you should attend Inner Awakening. So, in my very first intro video on my channel, I talked about my journey of getting to India and meeting my guru, Paramahamsa Nityananda. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of us Sangha members talk about, oh, you should go to IA, you should do it. It's the best thing you could ever do in your life, how it's changed my life. And yes, that's all great, but I'm here to just share my experience and what I personally went through because it's something that I've always wanted to know before I attended Inner Awakening, like what were people's experiences. So this video is just here to share that. So just to recap, like before I got to IA, I was just a seeker, like looking for deeper meaning in everyday life. I was always questioning why things were the way it was, why life had to be a certain way, why society acted in a specific way. And I always noticed other people really didn't question anything. They just kind of went with the flow. They just were asleep and they just followed what everybody else did. They followed the masses and whatever was being fed to them, it was what they did, what they said, how they acted, how they dressed. And for me, deep down, something wasn't okay with that. And I was always questioning everything. So eventually, I found my way to Swamiji through a yoga teacher of mine. And I would say my experience in Inner Awakening, by the way, it's a 21-day spiritual awakening program that happens in Bidadi. It's a small city just outside of Bangalore in India, and it happens at the ashram where hundreds of Adinavasis, including Swamiji, he lives. And I actually had the fortune to do my Inner Awakening in Varanasi, which is in North India. And that was in a time where Swamiji was doing Inner Awakenings in different cities, so around India. So I just happened to do mine in Varanasi. But this year he declared all of his Inner Awakenings are going to be in Bidadi, which is amazing. The space and energy there is amazing. But anyway, when I attended IA, basically, Inner Awakening broke down every idea that I had about me, every idea that I had about other people in my life, even strangers, all those assumptions and conclusions I had about other people and about life, and about how I saw life, about how I thought was the right or the proper way to live. Um, all of those ideas just kind of got shattered. And I realized that all of that was just conditioning put in me by society, by my parents, by reinforced through my friends, reinforced through society, through the media. And it was all just to keep me dumb, docile, and obedient, basically in a constant state of powerlessness. So, mainly, Inner Awakening takes you through the science of completion, which is a technique that was developed by the Vedic tradition, and it basically restores us to our natural state and space of being in eternal bliss, being complete with yourself, with others, with life. There's no mental or emotional hangups, right? It removes basically all of your powerless cognitions, powerless ways of acting and doing. So, one other thing that happened to me in Inner Awakening was that besides meeting a living avatar, right, of Shiva in the form of our beloved Swamiji, I also had a cosmic vision that I had actually 7 years prior to even me meeting Swamiji. Um, I had this very vivid cosmic vision about 7 years. prior to me attending Inner Awakening. And basically, I was watching this movie called Samsara. It's like a movie, it's like a moving meditation. There's no words in this movie. And if you watch it in with complete awareness, complete authenticity, it just kind of takes you through the ups and downs of life, through all of the extremes and all of the polarities and that this experience on this planet has to offer. So I was just watching this movie, and all of a sudden I just got beamed up into space. Basically, I saw just a sea of like spirals, and it looked like fire. It was so bright, and every spiral, it started off really small, but then as it went up, it grew like really, it expanded out. And each spiral, like I had one spiral from my life. The spiral next to me was like my brother, then my mother, and then out as it grew out, and then it just was like my friends, and then people close to them, and then it just kept expanding out. It went on from here to infinity, it seemed. And in each spiral, there was like a small TV screen, it looked like. So each TV screen was like, how do I say, was like a step, or was like a variation of my life. And as I looked in this, as I just glanced at the TV screen, it wasn't playing. But as I really put my consciousness, I looked into this TV screen, then the movie started playing, the movie of my life. And then I realized my life is connected to everyone that I know, and to people I don't even know. Right? And I remember looking at my life and seeing it play, and then I just kind of like got happy, and I was like, wow, this is amazing, like feeling this oneness with everybody. Then everything shifted, like my spiral and everybody's spiral around me just kind of, it shifted like a puzzle piece, and it just grew. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God. And then I just started to like say, oh my God, what is this? And I started to think, low powerless thoughts. And then all of a sudden the spiral just shrank. And then a voice came in my head really loud, like not even in my ear, it was like in the center of my head. And it said, go higher. And then I just came out of it, and I was like, what is this? And it was just so vivid, and it stayed with me for like 7 years until I met Swamiji. But during Inner Awakening, he'll have Q&A, question and answer sessions, and he'll say, he'll sit in the room, and he'll tell everybody, go grab the mic, ask me whatever you want. And, he did that for a few days, and I was like hesitant. I didn't want to ask, and I was like, why am I going to ask this silly, this vision? It might not even be real. And one day it was like really strong in me to like grab the mic and ask. So grab the mic, and I described this vision, but like halfway through, Swamiji stops me, and he goes, what you saw was real. It is part of Vedic cosmology, and it's referred to in like the Shiva Puranas, and he mentioned like a few references, and I was like, okay. And then he said, if you meditate on that vision, you'll reach enlightenment. And then like the whole room stopped. It was like a pin could drop, and everybody was like, wow. So I, just for FYI, yes, I have continued to meditate on the vision, but I'll make another video about that later. But basically, like, he didn't even let me finish the entire vision. He didn't let me finish describing what it was I saw. He knew exactly what I was talking about. As soon as I picked up the mic, it was like he wanted me to pick up the mic. He wanted me to just come out and acknowledge the fact that I did have this vision. So I had never told anyone about this vision up until when I had shared it that day in Inner Awakening. So I knew that by meeting Swamiji, like, he is definitely an avatar. He is here to, uplift humanity's consciousness and take us to the next level, of super consciousness. So that was my very strong personal experience during Inner Awakening. And because of that, I enrolled in many more programs with him, and I eventually decided to become an Adinavasi recently and live with him permanently at the Adinam. Right now, I'm at home because I need to take care of visa passport issues, but I'll be back very soon. But basically, also in Inner Awakening, we also experience the traditional Vedic lifestyle. It's basically waking up, doing a morning routine of yoga, traditional yoga. If you've seen my previous video about the breakthroughs that I had in Nityananda Yoga, you know what I went through in Inner Awakening with Swamiji. So we wake up, we do yoga, we perform panchakriyas, which is physical cleansing of the body to help us prepare ourselves for puja, which is spiritually cleansing ourselves so we could spiritually get our mind set so that we can take in the spiritual discourse in satsang, which happens later. So it's always yoga, bhaga, panchakriya, and puja, then satsang. That's how Inner Awakening always works, and that's how our morning routine is at the Adinam as well. And also, I wanted to share that we also experience pure sattvic food, bhaga shastra, as per the agamas, per Sadashiva's instructions, Sadashiva's own cookbook. So all of the foods that we eat, it plays a role in how we go through every process in Inner Awakening. We go through many purging and releasing of not just cognitions, powerless cognitions that we get rid of, but it also has a physical effect on our body too. So the Bhaga Shastra food helps us process these so that we can churn out and burn all of our incompletions away, but at the same time it keeps us vibrating at an elevated space so that we can match Swamiji's frequency and be in that space of eternal bliss. So that was my experience during Inner Awakening, and I hope that you all enjoyed hearing my experience during IA. And if you have any questions about anything you might want to know about what goes on during Inner Awakening, please do message me, leave me a note on my YouTube channel or Facebook page. Also, I highly, highly encourage you to sign up for the next Inner Awakening. Right now, there's, I think, the 40th or 41st Inner Awakening program going on right now in Bangalore Adinam right now. And if you want to sign up for the next one, please, keep in contact with us on Facebook, on the innerawakening.org page, through any of our devotees' Facebook pages. We're more than happy to help you make Inner Awakening your reality, and so that you could have your life changed. You could get yourself from this space of powerlessness to powerfulness and break those boundaries and become the new species, and join us as we move into the next level of super consciousness for humanity. So again, if you have any questions, please leave me a comment, and I hope to see you all soon. Thank you, Nityananda.